Word count 4982. The wind howled through the ancient trees that surrounded Hollow Hill, a desolate and airy place. Legend had it that the hill was cursed, and those who ventured too close never returned. But Jake, a fearless adventurer, scoffed at such superstitions. He believed that there was no such thing as curses and was determined to prove it. One gloomy evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the hill, Jake gathered his camping gear and set out for Hollow Hill. He had heard stories of the mysterious disappearances that occurred there and was determined to uncover the truth. Armed with a flashlight, a map, and a heart full of courage, he trudged through the dense forest. As Jake reached the base of the hill, an unsettling feeling crept over him. The air grew colder, and the woods seemed to come alive with eerie whispers. Ignoring his growing unease, he pressed on, determined to reach the top. The climb was steep and treacherous, but Jake finally reached the summit. At the peak, he discovered an ancient, dilapidated mansion, covered in vines and shrouded in darkness. The mansion had an ominous aura, but Jake was undeterred. He pushed open the creaking front door and stepped inside. The interior of the mansion was even more decrepit than the outside. Cobwebs covered every corner, and dust filled the air. Jake's flashlight barely pierced the darkness as he explored room after room. Suddenly, he heard a faint whispering voice coming from the depths of the mansion. "Get out," the voice hissed, sending a shiver down Jake's spine. But he dismissed it as a trick of the wind, for he was a man of reason and logic. As Jake ventured deeper into the mansion, he stumbled upon an old, dusty library. The shelves were filled with ancient tomes and scrolls. Among the books, he found a diary that belonged to a woman named Eliza. The diary was filled with cryptic entries about a curse that plagued the mansion and the hill. Eliza's diary described a chilling ritual that, if performed, could break the curse and free the souls trapped within. Jake was intrigued and decided to uncover the secrets hidden within the mansion. He began to search for clues that would lead him to the ritual. Hours turned into days as Jake scoured the mansion, deciphering cryptic messages and unlocking hidden passages. With each discovery, the mansion seemed to come alive, and its dark history unfolded before him. He learned about the tragic love story of Eliza and Samuel, two souls bound by a curse that had plagued their families for generations. One stormy night, as Jake delved deeper into his quest, he felt a sudden presence behind him. He turned to see the ghostly figures of Eliza and Samuel standing before him. Their eyes held a mixture of sadness and hope. "You are the key," Eliza whispered, her voice carrying the weight of centuries. Jake realized that he was the one meant to break the curse and free their souls. With trembling hands, he followed the instructions in the diary and performed the ritual. The mansion trembled, and a blinding light enveloped him. When the light dissipated, Jake found himself standing outside the mansion, which was no longer in ruins. It had been restored to its former glory, and the curse was finally broken. Eliza and Samuel's spirits were released, and they thanked Jake before ascending to the afterlife. Hollow Hill was no longer a place of darkness and despair. It became a symbol of love and redemption. Jake's adventure had not only freed two souls, but had also taught him that sometimes, the most thrilling stories were the ones that defied reason and embraced the mysteries of the unknown. As Jake descended the hill, he couldn't help but smile, knowing that he had discovered the truth about Hollow Hill and had changed its fate forever. The wind that had once howled with despair now whispered a message of gratitude, carrying the echoes of a love story that had spanned centuries.